Hi guys, today I'm going to show you a part 2 of round 6 through 15 of your Inky, Blinky, Pinky, or Clyde pattern. In my last video, part 1, I showed you how to do single crochet for the entire row or entire round. And you should end with a total of 30 stitches. We're keeping the amount of stitches the same for 10 rows. So in my last video, I just finished row 8, which gives me 1, 2, 3 rows. And I still need to do 7 more. And like my last video, if you don't know how to do the single crochet yet, all around, you should watch part 1 of this segment before you continue with this video, because I'm going to be moving pretty quickly just to show you how you're making this to look like this part of the body for your Pac-Man ghost. So the 10 rows is going to be this part right here. You're going to see it keep coming down, and as you can see side by side, if I just kind of pop this up a little, I'm starting to make that part come down. Okay, so let's get started. As usual, let's insert the hook, tighten it a little bit. You want to coil the yarn around your fingers and be real close to your work. Before you begin every row, you must mark your row so that you know where to begin and where to start each time. So again, I'm going to move by pretty quickly. If I move too fast for you, it's best that you watch the previous videos so that you can see me do it step by step. Okay, so all we're going to do is, like our last video, we're just going to single crochet the whole entire time. It's going to get very repetitive and possibly boring, so if you've already got this down, you don't have to watch this video. You can just check back with me at the end of the video to see if you have something that looks like mine. Now again, for beginners, it's best that you count how many stitches you have at the end of each row so that you're not missing any stitches and you're not having too many stitches. You want to make sure you have 30 stitches at the end of each row. If you have more or less, something went wrong along the way and you would need to go back and fix that. Okay? Alrighty. Always be sure to keep your crochet, your fingers, and yarn tightening, yarn holding very consistent. Okay. Very consistent. Alrighty, I've reached the end of row 9. We still have 6 more to go. So now that I'm back to the beginning, I'm going to put my yarn over. You're going to see that it kind of does a little dotted line effect. Okay, and I'll just keep continuing. Always ignoring the marker yarn. You see, you just want to leave it alone. It's there to serve its purpose for letting you know when you've finished a row. Okay. We can zoom in a little bit here. At this point, I'm not even worrying about how many rows I've completed. I don't count it until the very end because 10 rows is a lot, especially if you're not moving as quickly as me. You know, it takes quite some time. And also, if you did too many, it's always easier to just take out stitches by pulling on the yarn than it is to actually make them. So, you know, just relax, have fun, and just take your time to make sure that you're doing them well. That's the more important part. So now I've reached the end of that row. I'm gonna put my marker yarn over this time, push it to the farther, to the back, and continue. Okay, my yarn's sticking out a little bit, but that's okay. Okay, hang on, my ball of yarn got stuck. Sometimes the ball of yarn, it's best to drop it on the ground if you're working over a table. That way it doesn't come towards you when you're working. Sometimes that kind of gets in the way and we don't want that. We want to move through quickly and smoothly. Oops, that was my mistake. Oops. I didn't pull it through all the way. Sometimes what I like to do is, during these times when you're doing the same thing over and over again, I like to listen to music, watch TV, but sometimes you'll notice that if you're not used to crocheting yet, that you're gonna skip a stitch or miss it completely. So you still have to focus and watch what you're doing. Kind of like me just now, how I lost track of one of the stitches, but when you get the hang of it, it's actually a nice way to just kind of be doing something with your hands and being able to also watch something else. Okay, now I've reached the end of that row and I'm going to put my marker yarn over and move on. Okay, so you just keep continuing doing this. Just be right back. So now after I'm done with this row, what I'm actually going to do is stop the video and continue working on this and meet you back after I am done with these 10 rows so that you would see what it should look like at the end okay? Because all you're doing is the same thing over and over. So there's really no reason for you to keep watching me on fast motion here. And I will just meet back with you at the end of your 10 rows and at the end of my 10 rows. Okay. Alrighty, and now one more stitch and I'll be back at the beginning. Okay, alrighty. So now let me just count to see how many rows I've completed so far because I haven't been counting anymore. So the first one is here. We have 1, 2, okay, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we haven't counted it yet, but this one right here is the 7th one that I just completed. So once I put the marker over here, you would see 7. So I have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I just need 3 more rows for my body if I kind of put it this way. Okay, and at the end we can just pull off this marker. We don't need it anymore, but we still need it in there to tell me how many more I need to make. Okay, and it should look something like this. So before I also leave you to complete the rest of your rows, I am going to show you how many stitches I have so far. I should still have 30 stitches. I haven't done any increase. You just tuck those yarns in there. So let me go ahead and do a quick count with you before I let you go. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Okay? You should have 30 stitches all around at all times. Okay? Otherwise, you're not going to be consistent in terms of having it go downwards like it should. Let me zoom out. Like this. Okay? Obviously, this one's not stuffed so that I can do anything to it that I want still, but it's going to start looking like this one right here. Okay? All right, I'll see you guys back after you've completed your 10 rows. Thanks for watching.